1 in 3 adults will experience an anxiety disorder at some point in their life. That is not a number about stress or worry. That is a clinical condition that disrupts sleep, relationships, careers, and physical health. And the most powerful tool for managing it does not require a prescription, a therapist, or even 10 minutes of free time. It is already inside you, happening right now, completely automatic, and most people have no idea how to use it intentionally. That tool is your breath. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to learn exactly how breathing controls your nervous system, why certain techniques work faster than medication in acute anxiety moments, and the one breathing pattern that scientists discovered almost by accident while studying elite Navy SEALs under life-threatening pressure. Most wellness content skims the surface of breathwork. This goes deeper. Because once you understand the biology behind why this works, you will never forget it, and you will use it for the rest of your life. For most of human history, anxiety was useful. When a predator appeared, your body needed to react instantly. The heart rate surged. Blood rushed to your muscles. Your breathing became fast and shallow, flooding your system with oxygen for fight or flight. That response kept your ancestors alive. The problem is that your brain cannot distinguish between a lion and a difficult email from your boss. The same ancient alarm system activates for both. This is called the sympathetic nervous system response. And its counterpart, the system that calms you down, is called the parasympathetic nervous system. For thousands of years, humans had no conscious access to either system. You could not decide to slow your heart rate. You could not choose to lower your cortisol. These were entirely automatic functions. But breathing is different. Breathing sits at the exact intersection of conscious and unconscious control. It is the only autonomic function you can override with deliberate thought. And that one biological fact changes everything about how we can manage anxiety. Research published in the journal Science in 2017 identified a cluster of neurons in the brainstem called the Prebotzinger complex. This region controls breathing rhythm and is directly wired to the part of the brain responsible for arousal and alertness. When you breathe fast, this complex sends signals upward that increase alertness and emotional reactivity. When you slow your breath intentionally, it sends calming signals instead. You are not just breathing differently. You are chemically changing your brain state in real time. One of the most studied techniques is called diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing. Most adults breathe from the chest, using only the upper portion of the lungs. This shallow breathing is actually slightly stressful to your body because it mimics the pattern your system uses during anxiety. Diaphragmatic breathing activates the vagus nerve, which runs from your brainstem all the way down through your organs, and is the primary highway of the parasympathetic nervous system. A 2017 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that participants who practiced diaphragmatic breathing for 8 weeks showed significantly reduced cortisol levels, improved attention, and lower self-reported anxiety compared to a control group. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. Reducing it deliberately through breath is not a metaphor. It is measurable biochemistry. But here is what nobody talks about. The ratio of your inhale to your exhale matters far more than how deeply you breathe. When you inhale, your heart rate speeds up slightly. When you exhale, it slows down. This is called respiratory sinus arrhythmia, and it is the reason that extended exhales are more calming than extended inhales. If you breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 4 seconds, you are in balance. But if you breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 6 or 8 seconds, you are actively pulling your nervous system toward calm with every single breath. The exhale is not the passive release most people assume. It is where the real neurological work happens. This brings us to the technique the Navy SEALs use. It is called box breathing, or tactical breathing, and it was not invented by a wellness coach. It was developed specifically to help soldiers regulate their nervous systems in life or death situations, where panic is not an option. The pattern is simple. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Repeat. The holds are critical because they extend the transition between inhale and exhale, preventing hyperventilation and giving the brain a focal point that interrupts the spiral of anxious thought. A study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found that box breathing significantly reduced anxiety, anger, and confusion while improving concentration after just 5 minutes of practice. 5 minutes. Not 5 weeks. 5 minutes to measurable neurological change. Now, there is another technique that has gained serious scientific attention, and it is counterintuitive enough that many people dismiss it when they first hear it. It is called the physiological sigh. And it may be the single fastest way to reduce acute anxiety on the planet. A physiological sigh is something your body actually does automatically. You have probably noticed it, that involuntary double inhale followed by a long exhale that happens when you have been stressed or crying for a while. Your lungs are made of tiny air sacs called alveoli. Under stress, some of these collapse. The physiological sigh reinflates them and simultaneously triggers an enormous parasympathetic response. Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman and his team published research in 2023 demonstrating that just 1 to 3 deliberate physiological sighs, double inhale through the nose, then a long slow exhale through the mouth, reduced anxiety faster than any other breathing technique tested, including mindfulness meditation, and the effects were measurable within seconds, not minutes. Seconds. That is not a minor detail. That is the difference between riding out a panic attack for 20 minutes versus breaking it in under 60 seconds. But here is what nobody talks about when it comes to breath work and anxiety long term. These techniques do not just work in the moment. They train your nervous system over time. Your vagal tone, essentially how responsive and flexible your vagus nerve is, determines how quickly you can recover from stress. People with low vagal tone stay activated by the sympathetic nervous system long after the stressor is gone. People with high vagal tone bounce back rapidly. Regular breathwork, practiced even 5 to 10 minutes daily, measurably increases vagal tone. A 2010 review in Biological Psychology confirmed this, showing that slow, deep breathing at approximately 6 breath cycles per minute produced the strongest increase in heart rate variability, which is the most reliable metric for vagal tone. 6 breaths per minute. That is roughly a 5-second inhale and a 5-second exhale. That is also, interestingly, the rhythm found in many traditional chants and prayers across cultures that had no contact with each other, from Buddhist monks to rosary prayers to Vedic chanting. Different traditions, different languages, same physiological frequency. The wisdom was intuitive long before the neuroscience caught up. What this means practically is that the line between treating anxiety in the moment and building long-term resilience is the same practice. You are not choosing between managing today's panic and preventing tomorrow's. Breathwork does both simultaneously. That is an almost unique property among anxiety interventions. The implications extend further. Chronic anxiety is associated with elevated blood pressure, increased inflammatory markers, disrupted sleep architecture, and suppressed immune function. All of these downstream effects are directly impacted by vagal tone. Improving your breathing mechanics is not just a mental health strategy. It is a cardiovascular intervention. It is an immune system intervention. The breath is the lever that sits at the center of your entire physiological state. The key takeaways from everything you have just heard come down to a few essential points. Your breath is the only voluntary pathway into your involuntary nervous system. Extended exhales calm you faster than extended inhales. Box breathing changes your neurochemistry in under 5 minutes. The physiological sigh, a double inhale followed by a long exhale, is the fastest known method for breaking acute anxiety. And daily slow breathing practice rebuilds your nervous system's resilience over weeks and months. You do not have to choose one technique. Different tools work for different moments. The physiological sigh for acute panic. Box breathing for sustained stress. Slow diaphragmatic breathing for long-term nervous system training. What matters most is that you start, and that you do it consistently enough that it becomes reflexive, something you reach for automatically the moment anxiety begins to rise. You already have the tool. You have always had it. Now you know how to use it. Before you go, if you learned something new today, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe to Sleep Wave for a new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.